and the strategies that it's come up with for the three-player game seem to hold up well against human opponents. So to get back to your question, because you were asking about when's it going to happen that we can, actually play six maps.
Right.
Yeah, as far as being able to prove like this is the perfect way to play and no one can beat it, like that's actually just not possible. So we can never make that style of thing. But we can still try to come up with a strategy that's beats human pros, and I think that might be only a couple of years away.
Okay.
Using what we learned from DeepStack, I think we're getting pretty close.
Oh, that's interesting, and that's kind of exciting to see that it could be in the near future, like so close in the near future.
It'll never slow roll on purpose.
Okay.
Like there are spots that'll do something that might look like slow rolling, and the reason why is like let's say you're at the start of the flop, and like the flop is ace ace something, and if the bot has ace ace, like this is a spot that obviously is going to be really easy for any human.
Yeah.
But every time the bot has to act, it's not just playing that one hand. It has to consider every possible hand in its range and what it would do with every possible hand.
Right.
And that's just so it can get the mixing right.
Mm-hmm.
So even in spots like that, it might look like a really obvious decision given the hand it's holding, but it's always going to take the same amount of time because it has to consider what's in its entire range.
Right.
So it'll take just as long as if it had 2-7 off in that decision.
That makes a lot of sense when there's still other actions left to be had. All right, so so DeepStack won the second game. I shoved with 8-7 suited, called with king 6 off, fairly standard. I guess I'll start match number 3. Sick. Maybe I want to raise and deuce the king 8 suited. Yeah, I kind of like raise and deucing this. And this is sort of when I say induced, it's not like I'm expecting him to really cram it in. It's more just I don't mind upping the variance when I just think it's going to play better than me. It's not like I actually think I'm beating its range or anything like that. Sweet. Yeah, if I were to have just not said anything there, said raise and deuce, I'd probably look like more of a genius here. But that's a hand he may have folded to the shove. But I'm able to just get both all in more and see more flops with a hand with an equity advantage. I don't know that that's the right play if I think I'm as good as my opponent, but I think when I'm a little worse, I don't mind that. All right, so we're 2-1 for humanity. Co-Patrol asks, "How's it going?" Pretty good. I've been running pretty hot so far, so I'm up. I'm up 2-1, and then after winning that flip, had the chip lead in this last one. Let's go half pot here. So I don't know how often the bot will have... So I think the bot should be playing its flush draws pretty aggressively on the flop. And then I imagine... So it has 13 plus 5, it has 18 blinds. I imagine it's got to be jamming I think it's got to be jamming a lot of its ace-x pre, and then some of its ace-x, I guess it's folding. Let me think. It'll have lots of hands with a decent amount of equity, and some of the hands with equity may end up calling. Like it may just determine that 9-8 with a club is doing well enough to call here. I think this can be a terrible play if I'm underestimating how much ace-x he has. And I haven't really seen that many hands, but I think that his good ace-x, he's like virtually always 3-betting. His weaker ace-x may be folding flop. I think I'm just going to rip this spot. And I think that he can know that I could, do the same with, some, junky hands. All right, sweet. Yeah, so that's the type of hand that I think he kind of has to call off with there. Queen 7 with the club, where he has, he could potentially have me crushed if I had, say, like, 8-5 with the 5 of clubs, or, something like that. It's tough for him to be really far behind. It's pretty fortunate to be winning the all-ins. Like, it's, that, I think if hands were reversed, this, I wouldn't have gotten the same result. I think I just kind of had better hands than the bot throughout the match.